Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the 2023 to 2025 North Node in Aries transit, part 1 of 2. Now, the North Node will enter Aries on July 17, 2023, and will remain there until January 11th, 2025. The North Node is connected with qualities people may develop. It can reflect issues we have to address and confront. It can be about where one's future and destiny lies. It may be something that is preordained. The North Node can be about where we're directed to, and the North Node is where we are going. It's what we're learning and aspiring to be. This will be transitioning from Taurus into Aries. Now, when the North Node, it'll be soon, was in Taurus, many people may have been, very patient with others. Um, some people may have endured a lot of negativity from others without saying much or anything. Now, when the North Node enters Aries, more people may speak out regarding what may have been bottled up when the North Node was in Taurus. Taurus is more timid and docile, and Aries is very outspoken, assertive, and aggressive. More people may be willing to combat unwanted derogatory remarks when the North Node is in Aries, in contrast to it when it was in Taurus. Now, again, the North Node can be about qualities we are trying to develop, and people collectively may be trying to be more aggressive, assertive, courageous, and confrontational. It's about more people, I would say, standing up, needing to stand up and fight for their rights. And many people may desire to be more pioneering. Aries is about less procrastination and hesitation. Um, Now, also the North Node in transit, can manifest in issues, people may have to address and confront. Some people may have to confront issues that are connected with violence. If this transit falls in the seventh house as an example, it could be a contentious and combative situation with a significant other. There may be anger issues, a person may have to deal with. Some may have to deal, with some kind of provocateur or instigator. Um, this also, some people, may be directed toward an Aries type profession, such as doing something associated with, firefighting, welding, carpentry, combat sports, speech pathology, the military, law enforcement, or arson investigation, as some examples. And this could be especially true if this falls in what I consider one of the money or job houses in astrology, the second, sixth, or 10th house. Um, Also, too, it could just be, a position that requires leadership prowess and ability, such as a manager or coaching sports. Another thing, too, about this transit, I'm going to add, is that some people may experience, it could be a some kind of health, it could be a health related issue that may have to be addressed and confronted in this, especially if this falls in the first or sixth house of the natal chart. The first house is a house connected with the physical body. The sixth house governs physical health related issues. Um, this could be, some physical related issue associated with the brain, the head, the face, or the skull. There may be an injury as a result of fire or arson. People may need to be exceptionally careful, of cuts from sharp instruments or burns. As an example, work. If a person is doing some work that involves welding. If this falls in the 12th house as an example, maybe a time in some instances where one, may be directed toward becoming angry. It could be at a limiting situation or even in some cases a mental illness. Now, it may be positive to become angry actually because it could propel the person to actually do something about the situation. Keep in mind again, when North Node is in Taurus, it's more timid, docile. It's about being more stagnant and not really, not really changing much of anything. But when you have the North Node again transitioning to Aries, it's basically, time to actually be taking action and do something about things. And um, now, also, I find it interesting that the North Node in Aries transit will be in the United States natal fourth house for the majority of the period. And I'm referring to the Sagittarius rising chart for the United States. The North Node in transit, again, can be about issues that one may have to address and confront. Aries is associated with gunfire and violence. This could be the time where America will really have to scrutinize issues that are associated with weapons and gunfire that are impacting our emotional security and safety. And what makes this transit even more interesting is the fact it's going to oppose the United States natal Saturn in Libra for part of the period. And again, not again, I'm sorry, Saturn is associated with the government. The positive thing about this is that maybe the government, will really emphasize an opposition to what's going on and actually do something regarding the issue. Now, another thing too is that, when we look at the North Node, right, during the time when it's in Aries, naturally the South Node is going to be in Libra. The South Node can reflect what we're supposed to be going away from. Now, people, maybe going away from being overly people appeasing, charming, diplomatic, and tactful people. Also, collectively, maybe really going away from being, too quick to reconcile or compromise. Many people may be leaving relationships that were, to their detriment in the past. Also, collectively, some may understand that you don't, always have to collaborate on projects and endeavors. It could be about going away from being overly relaxed and complacent. The South Node in Libra is going to fall in my sixth house for most of the transit. Now, this indicates I may be emphasizing going away from just being overly relaxed and complacent in the daily routine. It could be about leaving relationships in the daily routine behind, going away from being, overly ambivalent regarding health-related issues. Keep in mind, though, that the South Node energy is not necessarily going to be eradicated completely. It can be incorporated with the North Node in Aries energy. And one way this may manifest is that a person can incorporate tact and diplomacy when fighting for one's rights or whatever it may be. Also, too, it's important actually to look at the house this falls in your chart, as this could impact how it affects you. Now, the house, that it falls in can impact that sector of life associated with it. Now, this is going to fall, the transit of the North Node in Aries will fall in my 12th house for the majority of the transit. Now, one way this may be expressed, it could manifest in developing more self-reliant and independent qualities. With this being in the 12th house, it could be for matters connected with limitations and restrictions. I may be directed toward being more, taking aggressive action in matters that are connected with my fears. The 12th house is connected with fears, limitations, and restrictions. and it might be doing so with little hesitation or procrastination. And also could be simply about me fighting more for the weak and for the passive, for those that have difficulty in standing up for themselves, the less fortunate, which can include the impoverished, the homeless, the oppressed, the hungry. And it could also be expressed in really moving toward combating issues, again, with little hesitation or procrastination that are causing sorrows, even secret sorrows. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.